Welcome back. I have a weird something going on. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think what is called a hitchhiker, and it's like a false masculine energy that tries to embody the sacred masculine for the feminine, or it can go vice versa. This happens when you have gifts like what I have and do what I do. And apparently, it's seeming like during the time period where I did some traversing. So, one of the things you can do, or that we do, is we do transmuting of energy with the sacred flame. But if you're a sacred flame holder and you have active all of your Holy Spirit abilities, and this is still kind of new to some of the collective, as far as I know, this was a kind of a new ability. It's not new, but a new reactivated Holy Spirit gift and ability that I was able to tap into after I went through my void experience. Those were some of the keys that I was bringing with me that I went in for to my fourth dimensional experience and back out again. And then we activated those keys and we used them. I used them to go back and remember some things from childhood for myself and some of our collective and soul family. It's mostly what I used it for. To see what had happened to the sacred feminine over the course of time, that there wasn't justice coming because it was too hidden. It was too hidden for it to come. Sort of paving the way for something. But I think something that happened while I was there was I picked up a hitchhiker. And this could be a soul that somehow got trapped in dimensions. They were on a spiritual journey. They might even have been experiencing a twin flame union, but something happened. Maybe their feminine passed away, or it's very rare, but this is back in the time when we were having awakening, but we still had present a lot of dense energy on the planet. Right? So, welcome back to Akashika. And I've been working. Whoever this person was or is, they are either attached to me. It seems like they're attached to me. It's a hitchhiker of some kind. I don't think this is a actual person sitting around. I think this is happening like it's an some sort of outer dimensional being. And I know that sounds weird, but it's kind of what comes along with this traversing thing. So a lot of us traverse, a lot of people in the new age, they do this traversing where they go from realm to realm or whatever. But once you have active Akashika and you're doing the Holy Spirit stuff with the Akashika keys, you're traversing biblical timelines. So this would be somebody that also had some connection to Akashika, a biblical Akashika. It's very strange. Anyway, he believes that he's in a different time than he's in, and he believes that the feminine is trying to run her business and doesn't have time for him, and that he should make movies for her. He's trying to make her a movie for her, and he has a lot of similarities to my masculine counterpart, and my masculine counterparts are karmics or soul family, but also my true twin flame, apparently, and those are some of the commonalities. So that's how you pick up a hitchhiker, is that they see you and believe you're someone else, usually. Or they help you in another realm, and then they think you come out of it, but they don't. And you could have just stopped to talk to them. If you stop and give them any time or energy in any way, shape, or form, it's possible for them to do these attaching things. So I'm thinking that that is what I've got going on, and it has to be cleared. Has to be cleared. And one of the ways to clear it is to know the name of the person. So the name of the person is trying to come out. That's what I think is happening. And his feminine, I think his feminine passed away. And then I think maybe after this happened, he I don't think they ever got to meet. They didn't have their first initial meeting or something. Or if they met, they were like way too young. They were like 4 and 5 years old, and then we're probably going to meet up again, but she might have died at like 12 or something like that. And she might be Native American, but she's showing up for me in a way. And she was into like violin or music or something like that. Possibly. Not sure. I'm just not sure because it's so vague still. But something's happening with that, so I'm going to need some masculines on board. And this masculine is also like, he's aware of the internet and uses the internet in some way. And he doesn't want his feminine on the internet, and he wants to help her with her business. And he has to manage his family because he's like a chief in his family. He's like a provider. And he's got like, this guy's like micromanager. He's like micromanaging their union and her and like stuff like that, and he's projecting that over to me. That's why I'm having a problem, I think. So this hitchhiker energy, I don't know how long he's been with me, but I became aware of him back when, if anybody remembers that's listening to me, I was doing some channelings where I was like doing some channelings about my rock and things like that, and getting instructions about that, and remembering some things and having memory recall, and kind of that was going on. And I had said, I literally woke up out of a vision, and I was really freaked out, and I was like, he's the devil. I don't know who he is, but he's the devil, but I made it out of the basement. And this might have been another feminine's false masculine, a false sacred masculine. Because usually if it's a sacred soul, they're not gonna pass away like this or get stuck in a dimension. So she may have like passed away or left the country. She might have been here like an exchange student and then left. And then I don't really know, because this has been happening for a year and a half. I don't know. So if anybody, being that everybody's also interested in my union, it would appear, if anybody has any insights on it, it might be useful, because he's kind of got this stalker vibe, and it's really kind of overwhelming sometimes. But he's like, he didn't activate the sacred flame. He was in a Blu-ray energy. He might have even worked for security. He might be like internet security or something like that. And he might be a black guy, or he works, I don't know. He's like got a problem with, like, he's like, well, I have black wings. Oh, I don't, like, I'm not white. I don't have black, like, but he's not talking about his skin color. He's talking about his energy, his wings, his spiritual wings. And it's like, for some reason, that's the thing that he, is focused on. It's like he watches my videos. It's really strange. He might be a black guy, I don't know. Well, there was some strange stuff that happened to me in 8th grade. I had a black guy that, he might have came in through another female blood relation. He might have been called in as a guardian, or like somebody was trying to, and there's something about a female YouTuber. So this would be at a time when early on people were just starting to do things on YouTube. Like, YouTube was, I don't know when YouTube began, but this would be like maybe around that time there was a female YouTuber. And I don't think this is a real person, but it might be a real person. This might be a real person that thinks he is my sacred masculine. But I don't think it's super weird. Ew. Anyway, he thinks he's my masculine, it seems like, or he thinks he is some, no, it would have to be me for that vision and the way that that's happening. This person thinks they're my masculine, but they are not my masculine. And he's like always like, you're not safe online, and okay, I still get female YouTuber. So anyway, the black wing thing. Black wings, that doesn't apply to archangel energy. That does not apply to higher monad, sacred masculine, feminine. But that does apply to like the rest of the collective earth angel energy. And that has to do with what you see when you look at people's eyes, not just their aura, but their eyes. You don't generally see this energy just by looking at someone's aura. You see it through the eyes, right? So, there might be 2 of these, and it might be 2 feminines that have this attachment, and one of these feminines might have actually linked up in the physical with a false that has this energy, this hitchhiker energy. He's ugly too. Look, he's like got like Jerry curl, and his face is like kind of ghostly. That's what he looks like. But this other one, he's kind of like clean cut, very serious kind of energy. So there might be 2 versions of these false energies. They're not sacred masculines. They might have divine masculine energy. They might have spiritual gifts and abilities, but they're not sacred masculines. They do not have, at any point, have they activated sacred heart activations. And they look at the feminine and they're like, I'm going to control the business side. I'm all business. Okay, I get that you need to do your Holy Spirit thing. You need to do your prayer thing. I get that, go do whatever you need to do. And then they're like managing her schedule and stuff. And then he says, like, when I was channeling earlier and I picked up this energy, it seemed like he was saying something like, something's going to happen I have something scheduled for December 1st, but you won't be included on December 1st because of your sin. So now he's starting to act like he's like, I'm just getting this vibe, like Amityville Horror dad kind of vibe off this energy. So, but the date that he gave, that I picked up in this channeling, comes out to 121. So this is someone who is, this is a sacred feminine who is going to become, or is becoming, faced with the fact, having to face the facts that this is a false or something. The number 21 or the date 121 or the number 121 are very significant in this situation. This could be someone who lives in a northern state. There might even be 3 sacred feminines that have dealt with this energy or are dealing with it, but there's one that has him actually in a physical embodiment. Okay, so he tries to embody a certain sacred masculine. He tries to embody the masculines who have those gifts and abilities with film, art, real strategic masculine energy. He's like Nico Suave, okay? He is. And then there's Amos. He almost looks, one of these masculines looks like Amos. So one's connected to a female YouTuber. One might be connected to me. That's the clean cut one. He may have actually been someone who left because of a drug overdose or suicide, or I don't know if he even really passed away, but he may have known me in the past around the time that I was in my first relationship, and he may have known me through either one of my cousins or my brother or someone I knew at school that I've just forgotten. I don't know. And there might be 2 actually that come up that need cleared. One being a black boy and one being this clean cut white guy. I don't know. There might be actually like a few of these hitchhiker energy, and it's just, hitchhiker is just what you call it because somehow you pick them up from the etheric plane, and they can hang around in your energy field for a really long time sometimes. I don't know exactly, but I just know that, like, when you're traversing timelines and your dream realm work is affected in any way, that's when you can pick up these hitchhikers. And that's why it's so important to work with the Archangel Michael and be very strategic and careful about what you do in the dream realm. And this is kind of for me or any other sacred feminine that might do work like I do, or any type of creative work where she taps into her sacred feminine, Holy Spirit, creative mind type of abilities. That energy right here See, my head injury is important because it's so key in understanding that there's a certain area of the brain right here where the gifts and abilities that most twin flames, especially sacred masculine and feminine, have. And this masculine also is like he's trying to embody. He's really like, there's a part of him that even is like telling him, yep, that's what you got to do. You got to embody this energy if you want to stay, you know, if you want to carry this out, if you want to have a life, or if you want to do whatever it is or whatever. This also might be somebody that tries to get, at some point, got the feminine to make, or wanted the feminine to make a movie with him. Now, this, I'm not talking, it might be an X-rated movie, or it might be a masculine that has issues with his feminine because she made an X-rated movie. So he has a problem with the sin of the third energy, and he's like, I'm not 4 years old, you know. I'm not fourth. I'm not fourth. Oh, and I think he's saying, I'm not coming forth. I'm not going to come forth. Because in the readings, the other readers will do these readings and they'll say your masculine's going to come forth. That's why these tarot readings are not good, because they don't actually pick up your sacred partner. They can't. It's not possible to use those tools and be on any spiritual level able to pick up sacred masculine and feminine, which is to keep the sacred that's why they're sacred masculine and feminine. But these readers will often pick that up, and when they do, they feed the energy of that hitchhiker, that false, that karmic. And sometimes these karmics are not showing up in the physical. They're not coming forth. He says, I'm going to embody, but I'm not coming forth. It's kind of like that. Like something has given him instructions on how to stay as an attachment. Somehow he's knowing how to stay in the feminine energy as this attachment energy. So, that said, I'm calling for the Archangel Michael and Zadkiel. Because Zadkiel will, and Raziel to help us, because we need that shield and we need that divine protection that these three angels specifically can bring for such a thing, right? So, and Zadkiel's really good with that, like when you're traversing, he's good with that energy. And sometimes when you have a high fever, ooh, and that might be where I picked it up. That's why that came up. Oh my God, I'm getting it now. That's why that became active, because whenever I was sick that time and I had a really high fever, that's probably the first time I ever saw my angel. And I think I saw Archangel Michael, but I didn't know what it was. And it, you know, really freaked me out. I had like a really high fever for 2 days straight. And Zadkiel will come to you too. Archangel Michael will go, like send him in as a guardian to guard over the feminine when she's sleeping, or anytime that she gets high fevers, or like young mothers or mothers and things like that. So this hitchhiker came in around that time in my life, and I think that he is, I think I might have 2 of them. And there's other feminines that are in my monad circle, meaning they're also sacred feminine. You could try to do tarot readings on them, but really you won't pick up everything, and or it won't be accurate, but it will seem very accurate. But if you're really good at energy work or healing therapy. What's the word I'm saying, like, readers, standard tarot readers, standard energy, like people who read auras and stuff like that. It's not going to be enough to cover this energy. We have to find out where he's gotten comfortable, why he's gotten comfortable, like where is he hiding at. So he has something to do with photos in some cases, or film. Picking up several of these. This energy has to go this year. That's going to be a big focus, is getting these hitchhikers and these falses out, because they are blocking a lot of the unions. And the closer you get to union, hitchhiker energies, sometimes the worst, because the closer you get to union, that's when the hitchhiker energy really tries to hang around, because they don't want you to dream about your real masculine. Okay, and they don't want you to meet your real masculine. They want your masculine to stay in fear and do what they do, to not come forth. That's the main thing. So if he is trying to embody your masculine and he's not coming forth or something like that, it can affect your union and keep you, it's like you'll keep coming this close to union. You'll be graze by each other, but you won't actually meet, and you won't like, it'll take divine intervention, and it might take time. So the Archangel Michael seems very focused on unions that have this energy to deal with, because those are the main blockages. Remember, our main objective and mission has been overall to unstick the stuck. So that is something that is sticking the stuck. So this is a protective big brother in some cases. You could even just call it big brother energy. It could be like the feminine. Like in my case, I had an older brother and I had a desire to have an older brother or a brother relationship going on in my life. And so it might have been easy for me to pick up this energy around that time, because I remember when I was sick, I kept telling my mom, I want to call my brother, call Aaron, call my brother, like I want to talk to my brother. And maybe she did or didn't, I don't remember, but like, and he had been over to see us recently, and I hadn't got to spend time with him, and I hadn't seen him since we were 3 and 4 years old and stuff like that. So it might have came in through grief.